Hey, it's Sean here, and in this video we are having a look at the app Zoom. So, with the recent pandemic dragging its feet, most people have become very familiar with Zoom. There's a phrase called Zoom fatigue. I think a lot of people are feeling that, whether it's working remotely and connecting with your remote team or your clients or your employer, to connecting with family members and friends. A lot of this has been happening through video conferencing apps, and Zoom is one of those apps. Another one is obviously Skype, and there are various other ones. We also use FaceTime on the Apple platform, on the Apple ecosystem. But Zoom is one that a lot of people have adopted and use, and quite frankly, they are very familiar with it. So in this video, I want to give you a brief overview of Zoom and just give you an introduction to this app. So what you're seeing here is the homepage of Zoom. And this has become my favorite video conferencing app, especially for doing work meetings, even for connecting with friends and family. It is really convenient and it works very well. If we have a look at the homepage here, we can see enabling the hybrid workforce. Okay, so this means obviously working in person, working remotely, introducing the Zoom community, a collaborative place for customers to find solutions, ask questions. Okay, that's something I'm not familiar with. Register today for Zoomtopia. That's obviously an event or conference they host. Then introducing Zoom apps. Use the apps you love right in your meetings. Okay, this, to be honest with you, I have not done many integrations. I use Zoom mostly for meetings, so Zoom meetings and then Zoom webinars. Those are the two I'm very familiar with. So if I scroll down here a bit, here we are. We've got Zoom meetings and we have got Zoom events and webinars. So Zoom webinars lets you host events online and essentially do a presentation to an audience. And depending on the plan, you do need a premium plan for this functionality, but you can let people register for your webinar and then they will receive the link to attend. And generally speaking, the difference between Zoom meetings and Zoom webinars would be that on a Zoom meeting, it's a smaller group of people and everyone shows up on the meeting and has the ability to turn on their video and to speak with everyone else on that meeting, whereas with a webinar, it's usually one presenter and a bigger audience, like this, one presenter and then a bigger audience that is on that webinar. And the people that are in the audience of the webinar, they can interact via the chat, but generally they wouldn't come on as video and they wouldn't contribute by speaking, so you wouldn't be able to hear them. So it's generally a one-to-many format with a webinar. And then obviously Zoom meetings is the one that most people are very familiar with, and that's you can connect with, you can do one-on-one meetings, you can have group meetings with Zoom meetings. All these other ones, I'll be honest, I've never used them. Zoom chat, I guess that's just the chat feature inside of Zoom. Maybe that's something I'm not familiar with. Zoom rooms, okay, you can do things called breakout rooms where you can assign participants into a breakout room and then they can talk amongst each other for a specific amount of time. On Zoom, Zoom for Home, developer platform APIs, obviously, yeah, you can integrate Zoom into other applications. I don't really use many integrations with Zoom. There is one that I want to share, and that is with my booking app that I use, and it is called Book Like a Boss. You can integrate Zoom with other applications, and specifically with mine, if I let people schedule a meeting with me, then Book Like a Boss will integrate with Zoom, will automatically create a new meeting, and then it'll add that event into my calendar, and it'll also send a calendar invite to the person that has requested the meeting with me. So that's an example of a great integration. Just having a look here on my right where I've got some additional notes. So Zoom is really amazing because it's simple to schedule meetings. You can schedule them in advance. You can then send the Zoom link to the participants of that meeting, and assuming that they have the app installed on their device, they should just be able to click that link and join the meeting instantly. I often think about it and it's like I'm in the Matrix where you kind of just click a link and you connect with people and you're in this virtual space where you can have a meeting, which is absolutely mind-blowing if you think about it. Then I'm just going to scroll down on their homepage. Okay, here they are ranked #1 customer reviews. That's all cool. Got some testimonials here from bigger brands, and tech companies trust Zoom. Okay, cool. So that's the homepage. I am going to just leave it over here for now, and I'll leave it on Zoom meetings. Some other things to mention is Recording meetings, Zoom makes it really easy to record your meetings either locally on your machine or into the cloud. I believe to record meetings into the cloud, you do need a paid for account, so you need the premium account. But that is very useful because you can set that up automatically when scheduling a meeting, where the meeting will then automatically start recording. And they've also enabled that sound where it notifies all the participants that they are being recorded, which I think is always a good idea. You can protect Zoom meetings with a password. I know there were various instances where people and companies and government organizations were using Zoom and the link somehow got out to people that weren't supposed to get access to it. And that's why people started showing up on meetings. And yeah, that's obviously not good. You want to protect that link. And now they do have a password feature where if you include that password in the link, then you don't need to manually insert it. Then if people click the link, then that obviously will automatically let them into the room. But you can also just share the meeting link and then send them the password separately if you want to add that layer of protection. Then my favorite Zoom feature is that Zoom lets you share your screen. So assuming I'm on a meeting here and I'm sharing a window on my screen on this monitor, I can run through a project plan. I can obviously look at websites. I can look at anything that's on my screen and I can share that with other participants. But what's really cool with Zoom is that you can choose whether you want to share the entire screen or if you just want to share a window or a browser window. So I like that a lot because I don't always want to share my entire desktop. I use 2 monitors here, and yeah, often you don't want everyone in a meeting to see everything that's on your desktop. You just want to limit what you're sharing to that browser window. So that Zoom lets you do that, and that's very useful. Then I mentioned the recording. You can record locally. I prefer to record into the cloud, even though you then need to download that meeting if you need it on your local device. But recording it into the cloud is great because it doesn't use any storage on your local computer. And I do know that a lot of people struggle with storage space on their laptops or on their devices. So to make sure you don't run out of storage space, I would recommend recording into the cloud. Then Zoom does offer a free plan, which lets you have unlimited one-on-one calls. I'm assuming this is still accurate. Just have a look at pricing here. So they have a free plan, personal meetings, host up to 100 participants, unlimited group meetings for up to 40 minutes. So maybe you can probably do meetings with up to 100 participants, and those meetings can run for up to 40 minutes. If you need to do meetings for longer than that, then you will need to pay for Zoom. You've got unlimited one-to-one meetings with a 30-hour time limit per meeting. Wow, that is insane. Has anyone ever done a 30-hour meeting? That could be like a marathon. Then private and group chat, that's always cool. So this is your free plan for personal meetings. Really generous of them to let people use their app for free. So if you haven't tried Zoom, go ahead and sign up. And then they've got various pro, business, and enterprise accounts here, which start at $14.99 US per month per license. And then it goes up from there, depending on what you need, larger meetings. And then I think the webinar solution is a completely different offering. So let's see, Zoom webinars. Okay, so they've got the plan here. So for 100 participants, support 1 to 9 licenses, $14.99 monthly. I think it does come with this plan if you want to host webinars up to 100 participants, which is great. So there we go. I think I will leave it at that. That is Zoom. It is an awesome app for running team meetings, for doing one-on-one meetings, just in general doing communication online, and for also documenting those meetings and having them recorded. So if you haven't used it, sign up for a free account. If you are interested in this app, leave me a comment below. If you are interested to learn more about how to use it, I know sometimes it can be confusing, especially if you are new to some of these technologies. I do plan to create more videos, and if there is enough demand, then I'll create a course covering how to use Zoom. This is definitely one of my main productivity apps that I use every single day. I can also see myself creating a productivity course that bundles all these apps together. So let me know if you have any questions about Zoom, if you actively use Zoom, if you have a different preference, for example, Skype or FaceTime, or I know FaceTime does also allow for groups, etc. But what I don't like about FaceTime is it's not easy to share your screen, and I really like using Zoom. So it's my preference. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. And I appreciate your feedback, and I appreciate you watching the video. So wishing you an awesome day. I'm Sean Toomey, and I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.